Hello, dear listener. Today, I am going to be sharing a testimony that was sent to us by a sister from the diaspora. In her testimony, she explained what Jesus told her about the event that will soon take place before his coming. If you are listening to this, I want you to commit this sister and her family in prayers. Also, before I share her testimony with you, I would love to know where you are listening from in the comments section so that we can connect as a family. Also, don't forget to like this video and share it with your family and friends who need to hear this message. If you have done that, may the Lord bless you. Now listen to her testimony and be blessed. My name is Sarah and I'm 23 years old. What I'm about to tell you actually happened to me 3 months ago, and I'm still trying to make sense of it all. I don't really talk about it much because honestly, people look at you weird when you say you died and came back. But I feel like I need to share this now, even if some people think I'm making it up or that it was just my brain going haywire or something. So I should probably start with what my life was like before it happened. I was working 2 jobs trying to pay off student loans and help my mom with rent. She's been on disability since her car accident 4 years ago, and my younger brother was still in high school. My dad left when I was 15 and we haven't heard from him since. I worked at a coffee shop from 5 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. Then I'd go straight to my second job at a call center until about 10 at night. Sometimes later if they needed overtime, which I always took because we needed the money. I was tired all the time, like that bone-deep tired where you forget what it feels like to actually be rested. My friends stopped inviting me out because I always said no. I didn't have time for friends anyway. I barely had time to eat properly. Most days I'd just grab whatever was quick, usually fast food or energy drinks and granola bars. I knew it wasn't healthy, but I kept telling myself it was temporary, just until we got caught up on bills. The day it happened was a Tuesday. I remember because Tuesdays were always the longest. I'd been up since 4 in the morning because I couldn't sleep the night before. My mom had gotten another medical bill and I was lying in bed doing math in my head, trying to figure out how we were going to pay it. When my alarm went off at 4:30, I felt like I hadn't slept at all. Work at the coffee shop was busy that morning. We had a rush that didn't let up and I didn't get my break until almost noon. I made myself a large coffee with an extra shot and drank it fast because I had to leave for my other job. My hands were shaking a little, but I figured it was just the caffeine on an empty stomach. I hadn't eaten anything since the night before, and even that was just some crackers. I got to the call center and put on my headset. The calls started coming in right away. Angry people, confused people, people who just wanted someone to yell at about their cable bill or whatever. I tried to be patient and helpful, but my head was starting to hurt and the lights felt too bright. My supervisor walked by at one point and asked if I was okay because I guess I looked pale. I told her I was fine, just tired. Around 7 that evening, I started feeling really weird. My chest felt tight and my heart was racing. The room seemed too hot and then too cold. I told myself to just push through, only 3 more hours. I took another call and the person on the other end was yelling at me about something that wasn't even my fault, wasn't even something I could fix. And I remember thinking how everyone is just so angry all the time. Nobody has patience anymore. Nobody is kind. The next thing I remember clearly is standing up from my desk because I needed to go to the bathroom or get some water or something. But my legs felt like they weren't really connected to my body. I took maybe 2 steps and then everything went black. I found out later that I collapsed right there in the middle of the call center. Hit my head on the corner of a desk on the way down. One of my coworkers called 911 and they did CPR because apparently my heart had stopped. The paramedics got there pretty fast because the station is only a few blocks away. They shocked me twice with those paddle things, the defibrillator. My heart started again in the ambulance. But between the time I collapsed and when they got my heart going again, something happened. Something I still can't fully explain. I didn't see a tunnel or a bright light like people always talk about. It wasn't like that at all. 1 second I was in darkness and the next second I was just somewhere else. It's hard to describe because it wasn't like a place with walls or a floor or anything concrete like that. It was more like being held in a feeling. The feeling was peace, but deeper than any peace I'd ever known. Like every anxiety I'd ever carried just didn't exist anymore. The colors there were different too. Richer somehow. More real than real, if that makes sense. And everything felt light, like gravity wasn't the same. I looked down at my hands and they looked like my hands but also seemed to glow a little bit. Then I saw him. I know people are going to think I'm crazy or that this was just a hallucination or a dream, but I'm telling you what I experienced. I saw Jesus. I knew it was him even though nobody introduced us or anything. I just knew the same way you know your own name. He didn't look like the paintings in churches. He looked more ordinary than that, but his eyes were different. They were kind in a way that made me want to cry. When he looked at me, I felt completely seen, like he knew everything about me, every mistake, every mean thought I'd ever had, every time I'd been selfish or judgmental, and he still looked at me with love. Not pity, just pure love. He didn't speak out loud, but I heard him anyway. It was like his thoughts just became clear in my mind. He asked me how I was feeling, and I said I was tired. He smiled a little sadly and said he knew. Then I don't know what came over me, but I just started talking. I told him I didn't understand why everything was so hard, why people were so mean to each other, why everyone seemed so angry and cold. I told him about the people who yelled at me on the phone every day, about the woman at the coffee shop who screamed at me because her latte wasn't hot enough, about the man who cursed at my mom in the grocery store parking lot because she took too long loading her car. I asked him why the world felt so cruel now, so empty of kindness. He listened to everything I said. Then he started explaining things to me in a way that made sense but also made me sad. He said that lawlessness was increasing. Not just people breaking laws, but people breaking the idea of treating each other right. When people stop respecting any kind of moral boundary, when everyone just does whatever they want without thinking about others, hearts get hard. It's like a scar, he said. When you get hurt over and over, the tissue becomes tough. That's what's happening to people's hearts. He said people are scared, and when people are scared, they close off. They protect themselves first. They stop trusting. They stop being vulnerable because vulnerability feels dangerous. And when everyone is closed off and protected, there's no room for love to move between people. But he told me something important. He said love hasn't disappeared. It's still there, it's just been overshadowed, covered up by fear and selfishness and the rush of everyone trying to survive. He said it's like clouds covering the sun. The sun is still there, still shining, but people can't feel the warmth anymore and they start to believe the sun is gone. I asked him if it was going to get better, if things would change. He got quiet for a moment and his expression was hard to read. Sad maybe, but also certain. He said his return was closer than people think. A lot closer. He said most people don't realize how close because they're not paying attention to what's really happening. They're distracted by everything else. Then he said something that really stuck with me. He said humanity is choosing survival over love. That's how he put it. People are choosing to survive, to protect themselves, to get ahead, to be comfortable instead of choosing to love each other. And when a society reaches the point where almost everyone chooses survival over love, that's when things reach a critical point. He said it's not about natural disasters or wars or any of that stuff people focus on. Those are just symptoms. The real sign is the absence of love. When love becomes rare instead of common, when kindness becomes shocking instead of normal, when people are surprised by compassion instead of expecting it, that's the sign. He told me I had to go back. I didn't want to go back. I told him that. Felt so good to be there with him, so peaceful. No pain, no exhaustion, no bills to worry about. But he said it wasn't my time yet. He said I had something to do. He told me I needed to tell people that love is the final test. That's exactly how he said it. Love is the final test before his coming. He said people think the test is about believing the right things or following the right rules, but it's actually simpler and harder than that. The test is whether people will choose love when it costs them something, when it's inconvenient, when it's scary, when it doesn't benefit them. He said to tell people that love isn't just a feeling. It's a choice you make over and over, especially when you don't feel like it. It's choosing to be kind when someone is rude to you. It's choosing to help when you're tired. It's choosing to see people as human beings instead of obstacles or annoyances. It's choosing connection instead of protection. Then he touched my forehead with his hand and it felt warm. He said I would forget some of the details, but I would remember what mattered. And then I was back. I woke up in the hospital with tubes in my arms and monitors beeping. My mom was there crying. She told me I'd been out for almost an hour. The doctors said I had a cardiac episode brought on by severe exhaustion, malnutrition, and chronic stress. They said I was lucky to be alive. I tried to tell my mom what happened, but I couldn't find the right words. It sounded crazy even to me, and I had experienced it. The doctors said it was normal to have vivid dreams or hallucinations when your brain is deprived of oxygen. They said not to read too much into it. But here's the thing. It didn't feel like a dream. Dreams fade and get fuzzy around the edges. This hasn't faded at all. It's been 3 months and I remember it as clearly as I remember yesterday. More clearly, actually. My life has changed since then. I had to quit both jobs because the doctors said I couldn't keep up that pace without risking another episode. We applied for some assistance programs and my mom's sister has been helping us out. I got a different job that's less hours but better pay. It's not perfect, but we're managing. But the bigger change is how I see things now. I notice when people are kind. I notice when the cashier is patient with the old man who takes forever to count his change. I notice when someone holds the door. I notice when people choose to be gentle instead of harsh. And I notice when they don't. I notice when people choose themselves over others. I notice the coldness he talked about. I've been trying to live differently. Some days I'm better at it than others. I fail a lot, actually. Yesterday I was annoyed at the woman in front of me at the store because she was taking forever and I was in a hurry. Then I remembered what he said about love being a choice and I took a breath and chose to be patient. It sounds like a small thing, but it felt important. I've started telling people to be kind to each other, just in small ways. Like when someone is complaining about how rude people are, I ask them if they've been kind today. Not in a preachy way, just as a genuine question. Most people stop and think about it. My friend Ashley asked me why I'm different now. She said I seem calmer but also more intense at the same time. I tried to explain what happened, but she just smiled and said the experience must have really changed my perspective. She didn't believe the Jesus part. That's okay. I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. I'm just telling people what I experienced and what he told me. The thing is, I see what he meant everywhere now. I see people choosing survival over love constantly. I see it in how we treat homeless people, like they're not worth our time. I see it in road rage and online comments and the way people talk about anyone who's different from them. I see it in how we'd rather scroll on our phones than talk to the person next to us. I see it in how we're all so busy and stressed that we don't have energy left for kindness. But I also see the love he said is still there. I see it in my mom's eyes when she looks at me. I see it in the stranger who paid for the groceries of the woman in front of her whose card got declined. I see it in my coworker who brought me soup when I was sick. I see it in the kids at the park sharing their toys. The love is there. It's just fighting to break through all the fear and hardness. I don't know when Jesus is coming back. He didn't give me a date or anything, but I believe him that it's soon. I feel it somehow. There's a sense of things building to something, like we're all running out of time to choose what kind of people we're going to be. I think about that message a lot. Love is the final test. It makes sense when you think about it. If God is love like the Bible says, then the test of whether we're ready to be with him would be about whether we learn to love. Not perfect love, but real love. The kind that costs you something. The kind that makes you inconvenient or vulnerable. The kind that goes against your instinct to protect yourself first. I don't know if anyone will believe my story. That's not really the point though. The point is the message. We need to choose love while there's still time. We need to fight against the coldness and the hardness. We need to be kind even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. That's what I'm trying to do now. Some days I'm successful and some days I'm not. But I'm trying. I'm making the choice over and over. And I'm telling people about it when I can, hoping maybe they'll think about their own choices. That's my story. That's what happened to me when I died for a little while. You can believe it or not, that's your choice. But I hope you'll think about the message either way. Choose love. Choose it today and tomorrow and every day after that. Choose it when it costs you something. Because I really do think we're running out of time, and love is what matters in the end. Thank you for listening to this point. I hope that this testimony has blessed you. If yes, then give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. Also turn on your notification bell icon so that anytime we post a new testimony you will be the first to receive it. Remain blessed.